I'm Vince Meehan from the Alpenhorn News, and today we're going to take you to Cedar Pines Park, where the county, MAST, and the fire department has put together a demonstration house. That way, the residents can get a better idea of what it takes to be in compliance with the fire codes this year. Hi, I'm here with Thomas from Land Use Services, and why don't you go ahead and tell us what we have going on here?
Well, this is our demonstration property for basically to demonstrate the changes in the fire hazard abatement ordinance within San Bernardino County. It changed last November. Prior to that, we addressed dead and dying vegetation, junk, trash, things of that nature. Now we also address live vegetation, thinning of brush, removal of certain trees, etc. This is our demonstration property for the Crest Forest area. We've already done Lake Arrowhead, a demonstration property. We'll do one in Running Springs, and then in Big Bear later this summer. So crossing out.
Great, well let's go take a look.
You bet. Yeah, the other thing, Vince, within 5 feet of any structure, 5 feet from your house, off the wall, typically you don't want anything.
Okay.
No vegetation, no pine needles, very minimal leaf litter. You want it to look like this area where it's almost entirely mineral soil.
Now, I actually have a small tree about this big around that's right next to the house. Does that have to go?
It depends. What kind of tree?
I think it's oak.
Oak. You might be okay. You want to keep it off the house because it's going to get bigger and it's going to present.
Well, I'm not emotionally attached to it, so if you tell me...
It may be better to stay a little bit now.
Good.
You want that first 5 feet to be as free and clear of everything as you can. That gives you a border for the fire that may be in the leaf litter or in the pine needles from creeping to the structure.
And I also noticed that during the last fire, the firemen came, even though there was no fire around, they did create a zone about 3 feet wide, and that helps them out.
Right. It gives them a break, so that fire that's creeping along stops before it actually attaches the structure itself. If you have a tree that's 4 inches or less in diameter at chest height, that's within 10 feet of another tree, you need to remove that smaller tree. The tree down here is about a 4-inch tree. This is probably a 6-inch trunk right here. So that's why these two remain next to each other. That's also why the bottom, the extensions from the bottom were trimmed off, because those would have been less than 4 inches. And it also makes the tree unhealthy to begin with. Trees like that, you see those two right there? Their size, they're maybe 5 feet apart. One of those has got to come out.
And which one would it be?
They're both healthy trees. It would be property owner's choice.
Okay.
We're not going to determine which one.
Right.
But one of them should go because you got 2 trees of insufficient size too close together. They're both going to be unhealthy because of it. The thing we look at is ground clearance, weed abatement, things of that nature. What we're going to look at on that, this property's been done. You're allowed up to 2 inches of material on the ground, meaning 2 inches of leaf litter, 2 inches of duff, 2 inches of pine needles, whatever your property gets. Anything more than that, like there's a little pile over there, if the whole property was of that depth, it needs to be raked out. This has been raked out.
I think a lot of people have that concern because they're afraid if they get rid of everything, there might be erosion when it rains.
And I understand that to rake 8 inches to 2 inches is nearly impossible.
Right.
It's a balancing act. Some people rake it down to the dirt and then they spread a thin layer back out.
That's probably a good idea.
That's probably a good idea because it is hard to do any other way.
Right.
Some of the contractors do manage to rake it down. My contractors can do it. It's hard work. You do have an erosion problem, but there has to be a balance.
Exactly.
And that's why the 2 inches was established, was to balance between erosion and fire hazard.
Okay. Great.
Weeds such as this, they haven't been cut yet. It's still early in the year. They're just now drying out. You can still see there's some green in there. If you cut it while it's still green, the plant hasn't gone dormant yet, you're cutting it again. So you want to wait for the plant to go dormant. Then you know if you cut it, it's not coming back till next year. It's done for its growth cycle. Well, to kind of sum it up, the first 5 feet from the structure, free and clear of pretty much everything, mineral soil, best you can. The first 15 feet, no highly flammable vegetation.
At all.
At all. The first 30 feet spacing, or 15 to 30 feet spacing of any shrubbery, 2 times the height of the tallest plant. Limbing up of all trees, removal of all trees smaller than 4 inches at chest height that are within 10 feet of another tree. And then 30 to 100 feet, you want to make sure weeds are cut, pine needles are no more than 2 inches, leaf litter is no more than 2 inches.
And we're talking about the 2-inch.
Correct.
And let's make something clear. This goes out 100 feet
Or to your property boundary.
Exactly.
If your property boundary is less than 100 feet from your structure, the adjacent property owner is responsible for providing you whatever makes up that 100 feet.
Now, one last thing. We're all trying to get compliant, and for some reason the fire department finds you non-compliance. What would happen at that point?
Well, if we come back out, right now with the new ordinance, we're strictly trying to be educational.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to do a whole lot of enforcement. This is new for everybody. It's better to educate people and try to limit the amount of enforcement we do. If enforcement is needed, just simply because a property owner absolutely refuses to cooperate in any way, doesn't make any effort, doesn't make any phone calls, doesn't try, we send the notice, the official 30-day notice.
When does that come out?
It depends. It depends. Right now, it hasn't scheduled for reinspection yet because the actual first letter went out, and the actual official notice hasn't gone out yet. When the officer for the area reinspects and finds the property non-compliant, he'll send out an official 30-day notice if that property owner is not cooperating in some way. At the end of that 30 days, if there's still no change, no cooperation, no contact with our department or another department, at that point, we schedule our county contractor. Our county contractor will come in and do the needed abatement, and that property owner will receive the bill for their time, plus applicable fees, penalties.
Well, thank you very much, Thomas.
You bet, Vince.
It's been a great help. For the Alphen News, I'm Vince Meehan. Thank you.